in what was the situation just now in the court.
Okay, well, we did get to see Rovi. It's hard when you're waiting around in Crown Court. She's waiting for a big decision that's going to affect her life. A lot. Her boyfriend's there, her social worker's there, her YOS worker's there. There's a guy from Leaving Care there, and then there's me, who she's not met before, only spoken to on the phone a couple of times. Trying to explain this quite complicated great package that we've got to offer her, and get her to make a kind of free and fair decision on that. So, I'm struggling with it because I feel like it's a little bit compromised. But basically that was the circumstances we were faced with. So we did our best to kind of give Rovi the lowdown on what we were offering, and to give her the opportunity to ask any questions and say yay or nay. And she did say yes. That's really good, although I still kind of have reservations about... I would prefer to assess her motivation in totally different circumstances where, she didn't have the pressure of that court appearance. But there'll be a chance to see her following today, and just hope that, today it does go ahead for her. There is a decision which allows her to go ahead with the Summer Arts College and let her get on with her life, basically. We'll have to see what happens. I guess it's one of those cases where it's one very serious offence which is kind of not in context with the rest of her life. So she's not a prolific offender, but she has got this one very serious matter. I get the sense that Rovi doesn't do much constructive with her time, and although she has got a plan for college in September, I would imagine that she's looking at a long, fairly monotonous summer of just drifting from one thing to the next and seeing some friends. And we're looking at doing something completely different with her, which is expecting a huge amount out of her, like equivalent of a demanding full-time college course or more, almost to the level of working full-time. And so it offers a lot of opportunity for her, but it would be a big change from what she's been doing recently.
Too complicated for people to fly, so they're having to be downgraded. I mean, that sounds like incompetence, doesn't it?
No. I mean, the Chinook fleet has been upgraded to ensure that it can operate effectively in Afghanistan. And one of the issues is we've got Merlin helicopters that are going to come on stream later this year. But rightly, and again the Conservatives acknowledged this morning, it takes time to adapt them.
You can rely on them.
And for the latest on the roads, here's Tom.
BBC Oxford Travel.
Well, our ISB team is delivering an intensive programme to young people who are at serious risk of custody. So when we're working with them intensively, we have to organise 25 hours a week of their time with education, with reparation as community service, with offending behaviour programmes that will hopefully reduce their risk of reoffending, constructive use of time, family support, obviously help towards employment. So we're delivering programmes like individually tailored to each young person that we work with, depending on their age and circumstance. I'm the senior practitioner of the team, so I hold cases and work with young people directly, as well as trying to coordinate the team and make sure there's a consistent approach for young people and courts around a big rural county in Oxfordshire. Yeah, so trying to keep everyone happy, basically. If you think of who my customer might be, it could be the young person, it could be the parent, it could be the community, it could be the courts and the police, it could be the youth offending service, it could be the wider public. So there's a lot to consider. Hi Rob, Tim, ISSP. Well, I'd like to speak to you today if possible. Oh, okay. Yeah, just about Summer Arts College, Rob. Do you want? Can you? Well, just chasing up for referrals, basically, from the city team. Well, I'll do what I can do, but maybe I need to email you. I might need a little extra help because just to get the last few referrals in, if possible. But I'll speak to you later. Yeah. Okay. All right. Thanks, Rob. Cheers. Bye. Bye.
Yeah. Don't know their names, whoever asks for drugs, or just take the money and fuck off. Or say to them, wait here. Or take the money and don't come back. Well, just say one of my mates knows someone else and they want drugs. I'll say, yeah, I could get it. They come meet me, give me the money. I'll tell them to wait down there, I'll walk off down the road and don't come back. People come up in the streets and ask you if you could get drugs.
why you know? Why would they ask you? Are you known for that?
Because where they probably think, yeah, he's a druggie or something, and they ask me for drugs, and I say yeah, and they get robbed.
Why do people like watching films about crime and violence?
Because it's good action, and it's got scary bits in and all that. Yeah, it's interesting. Most people went crime.
Fascinating, fascinating. Come on, put that down. That's a good word, that is. I like that word, fascinating. It is, isn't it?
What do you think of the way, like, law and punishment, like the way you're being dealt with at the moment?
It's stupid, like, they punish you too bad, you know. I reckon they should just get rid of rules and regulations and just, you know what I mean?
Don't you think there would be just anarchy, like, just madness?
Everyone's house will be getting robbed all the time if that's happened.
True.
People will be dying by the minute.
Yeah, true. But yeah.
It's good that there's rules, but they've done it so many rules you can't even fucking say a swear word outside without getting nicked.
I know, you can't swear.
And that ain't actual crime, saying a swear word, is it?
We need to be more clear about our curriculum, so I think we need to plan Thursday quite tightly, because next Thursday we are meeting with our young people and all our staff team, and we're going to meet here. We're going to meet at 10:30. And so I think we need to plan exactly what we need to put into that to make sure that it's kind of fast-moving. Young people get to understand what they've signed up for, what they can expect, and are ready for Monday morning and kind of looking forward to Monday morning with a sense of anticipation. We need to talk about how we manage like difficult behaviour and what's acceptable behaviour, and talk about things just like an attendance record and just some of the basics of working with young people over the summer, so we're all clear about that.
I mean, confrontation-wise, I don't have a problem with bigger lads anyway. I mean, it sounds sort of, I can handle it, but I'm now a team teach instructor. We've taken team teach as a positive handling thing throughout Oxfordshire. We used to use price as a restraint technique, but that was a bit heavy. It wasn't so much hands-on, but if the child didn't comply, it might just be uncomfortable.
Okay. So
we weren't comfortable with that because we were having to take it to another level. And
I think maybe I need to be clear, Leslie, that we're not going to be doing any physical restraint or any kind of physical...
But the team teach stuff is 95% talk, 5% handling, and the handling is as much as, come on mate, come with me. You know, we're going, and we've started using it, and even the two alpha males at school that you'd think would never ever use this, their staff, they can see it happening and working. That no, come on, we'll nip outside for 10 minutes, and it is because there's no confrontation with the angry person. They come down quite quickly. So I mean, I don't have a problem with saying to one of the bigger lads, look, come on, let's nip outside for 10 minutes.
And we do need to separate them. There's nothing worse than having an argument with two people. That has to be an agreement. One has to be somewhere and one has to be taken out. Otherwise, it'll just quickly bring everybody else in, and you could have a thing. So you need to separate them.
So Leslie, you're not going to be around all the time. You've obviously got loads of experience with dealing with difficult behaviour. And Kate, yourself, you've also, and myself, that's the kind of stuff we do day in, day out. Rachel, what's this conversation like for yourself?
I've worked with homeless young people, lesbian, gay, transsexual, bisexual, and that was a tough group to work with, but I loved every one of them. And I've had a young man in my house threatening to cut himself because he was a drama queen. I've had students refuse to work with me and stuff. So I've had like kind of really explosive situations with students walking out because they think I'm weird because I haven't got a TV and stuff. I mean, it's just, I know what they can be like, and they can be a bit scary sometimes. But it's cool.
I think the fact that we've got the common level is the biggest, we've overcome the biggest hurdle, that everybody operates at the same. It's not a problem, we can sort this out, mate.
You'd be on a level with them, and I've never had any violent incident. I've never had anything slung at me, or generally I just try and be on their level and trying to facilitate rather than be hierarchical. I generally have more problems with other members of staff that I've worked with than any students. So I think some of the problems are often can be rooted in that. If everyone's pulling in different directions and there isn't a united thing, and then that is easy for the group to sort of crack the cracks open. That is easy for the group to act out. So
it just sounds a hell of a lot of rules to me, you know, and we're pulling as a team. It makes us sound like the police, you know, because it's just as much about our journey as it is theirs. And if there's a punch-up, you know, or if... Well, all right, then if there's two girls that are going hell for leather, don't like this idea, right straight away split them up and this is the rule, they've got to be separated.
It's just that you can bring so much, it can get out of control. It's just a basic technique that you can...
a rule how to do everything, and maybe we ought to be more individuals, and the purpose of being a team is for us all to bring a different angle to this, not be the police when things start to go wrong. Have to go outside.
But it's not the police, it's a technique that
What's
works.
your technique? It's not
mine.
I
think it works.
I think it's...
Well, that's
great.
But if we don't all operate, then it's going to happen that, let's say Lewis then, for example, will think, oh, right, well, I'm not getting my way with Tim, but if I go and ask Leandra, I know she said, and you know, they're still children and they're incredibly intelligent at manipulating people. Somewhere in their life, they have to come to terms that when, you know, we're part, I know we're giving them this experience and it's an experience for us, but we should be preparing these kids for real life as well.
Yeah, but real life is about being manipulative.
But you also have to follow a set of rules, no matter what. And
yeah, but they're your rules, aren't they?
I don't, you know, if we anticipate what's going to happen if there's a punch-up, we should be thinking we should give these kids the skills for it not to go that far. To say that, you know, right, if you're arguing with this other person, if he got on your nerves yesterday, say to one of us, so-and-so really pissed me off yesterday, and we'll come to some decision, what, you know, how can we best work it.